coffee. I just finished eating. Usually on Monday, Tuesday, I work all day, and I like get up 6 o'clock and start working, and then usually Lizzie wakes up at like 7, and we'll like take a walk, and then I'll feed her, and then I'll eat, and then I'll go back to work. But today, apparently she did not want to wake up, which is fine, I don't care. But I like woke her up at like 9:30. We did not take a walk this morning, because by that time I was pretty hungry, because I was just like, I don't know, I was just working. So she's actually went back to bed. She's getting old. I mean, she's only 5, but for a Dane, that's, you know, getting up there. So she's starting to slow down a little bit. Anyway, I fed the birds this morning. I cleaned up the kitchen a little. Not like you care, it's super boring. But anyway, what was I gonna say? I can't remember. I'm watching that Britney Spears documentary. What's it called? Britney versus Spears on Netflix. I'm almost done with it. I have about 20 minutes left. It's sad. It stinks. I was not a huge Britney lover. I was more of a boy band lover. So I didn't really listen to like Britney. I didn't have like any of her CDs or anything like that. So, you know, but I liked her fine. She just wasn't, I just didn't listen to her very much. I wasn't like a super fan or anything. I've had people send in some pet peeves. So, I think one that seems to be, well, a couple of people have said they really hate when people say, you know, as like a word whisker instead of like, or, but they'll be like, you know, so I was saying, you know, that the other day, you know, and it's like, it's pretty irritating. Pretty irritating. Lisa from Knit All the Yarn, is that what it is? Why can't I remember that? She's 72 Stitches on Instagram, but she has a podcast, Knit All the Yarn. And she said she really hates when people don't put their carts in the cart corral. So I guess it doesn't really bother me that much, but I do always put my cart in the cart corral. In fact, I like to park close to the cart corral. Because I guess it would bother me. Like, I don't want to leave my cart out, but I guess when other people do it, it doesn't bother me that much. She also doesn't like when people don't use blinkers. I have to agree. I got really irritated the other day when someone was turning right and I was on their right. So I was like, I was going this way, they were going this way. And they were turning right and we were both stopped. I thought they were going straight, and I don't think it would matter either way. Like, I can't remember who got there first or whatever, but he was like going right, and I was like, well, if you had your blinker on. Why did I get so mad? It didn't really matter, but why do we get so mad about these things? Like, why do these things bother us so much? But I was up at 3 a.m. tossing and turning, and I thought of another pet peeve. I don't know what made me think of this, but I've talked about it. I actually talked about it on a previous episode, the one entitled, I once saw Pauly Shore eating a taco at LAX. But I talked a little bit like about fangirling, and I have definitely talked about in the podcast before about like popularity, like everything is a popularity contest. And I feel like the knitting community can be a little bit like that. And I don't want to say anything that would alienate anybody, because I know a lot of people have found a lot of friendship in the knitting community, and I have too. I've made some really good friends here, but I do feel like everything else in the world, the knitting community can be a bit of a popularity contest, and that is a pet peeve of mine. But also like this idea of like fangirling, I can't stand fangirling. I can't. there are people that I love. Like, I'm a huge fan of Jason Mraz. I feel like I've probably said this before, but I think I've seen him in concert like 10 times. Like, I love him. I have all of his albums. Like, I really love Jason Mraz. I would not spend 4 hours in line to meet him. I wouldn't, if I saw him like out, I would not like, I don't think I would even go up to him. I may take like an incognito picture, but I don't think I would like go up to him and be like, oh my God, such a huge fan. And I'm a huge fan. But like, I guess I feel like it's twofold. So the first thing is that I don't think anybody is that special. This is his job, is to write music, and he writes great music in my opinion, but like, he's not some like godsend. And I do know that some people have been in really difficult positions in their life and have felt like certain music or certain people have like really helped them through certain things. And I think that that's great. I've never experienced that. So maybe if I have, I'd feel a little bit different, but like differently, sorry. Differently is an adjective or an adjective? No, adverb, because it describes a verb to feel, which you put ly on adverbs, by the way. So maybe if I was in that position, I'd feel differently. I guess that's another pet peeve of mine. I'll put a pin in that. But I just don't feel, okay, so first of all, the first part of it is that I don't think they're that special. Even though I think he's great and super talented, I don't think he's that special. Second of all, I don't think anybody's that special. So that being said, I don't think I'm that special. Like, okay, so I'm gonna go up to this guy and I'm gonna say, oh my God, I love your music, which is like a billion people love his music. I'm gonna say, oh, your song XYZ is like my favorite song, which is like everybody's favorite song. Like, oh, it means so much to me. He's not gonna remember me from a hole in the wall. I'm gonna make no impact on his life whatsoever because I'm not that special. So like, what does that get me? Okay, sure, maybe the experience of meeting somebody, but like, being famous is not on its own that big of a deal to me. It's really not. I think of like these huge blockbuster people like Angelina Jolie or like Brad Pitt or like, you know, blockbuster people. Like if I saw them out, like, I think they're great actors. I like some of their stuff, like whatever. They're just a human being. I don't really care. I don't. Oh my gosh, do you guys ever read People magazine? I think it's People, or Us Weekly. No, it's Us Weekly, and there's always this thing in there, Us Weekly. The stars are just like us. And they'll be like, they leave the gym. They leave the gym just like us normal, regular losers. Like, of course they leave the gym. What do they live there? Like, why wouldn't they leave the gym? Stars are just like us. They buy coffee. God, I hope they buy coffee. I buy coffee. I love coffee. Like, that's not, like, it's not, what do I think? Like, what do we think? That these celebrities have people, like, literally dressing them? I mean, I know they do for events, but, like, they breathe air. They're just like us. Oh, God, it just makes me so sick. So, I remember one time, was it my first Rhinebeck? There were these people, and they'll remain nameless because I do like them. They're friendly and fine and funny and great and whatever. But anyway, podcasters, and there's this podcaster meetup on the green on the hill at Rhinebeck. So I have attended it and have met other podcasters. But this one year in particular, the line to meet these people was insane. Like, the line was so long, and I'm like, they were like standing in line, autographing, and then like taking pictures. And I'm like, I mean, really? They don't even do it. Like, I don't even think they dye yarn. I think they literally just were podcasters. Like, it was so bizarre to me. I hate fangirling. I hate it. I also hate Us Weekly, apparently. Put a pin in it. Adverbs. Okay, so adverbs describe verbs, right? Like adjectives describe nouns, adverbs describe verbs, right? And a verb is an action word. Okay, we know this. We know this. Adverbs have ly on the end of it. So when you say something like, I feel bad, that is not the proper way to use the word. I don't think. Now, if someone can correct me, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't feel like looking it up myself. So if there's someone who knows that I'm completely wrong about this, then please let me know and I will totally get off of my, I don't know, English high horse. Like, because I don't speak proper English by any means. It's not like, oh, I speak proper English, because I don't. But for some reason, this really irritates me. So like, instead of saying I feel bad, you should say I feel badly. Like what did I mean, I can't remember what I just said. Feel different. Like when someone says I feel different, I would feel different. It's actually not different. I think it's supposed to be differently. I would feel differently. What's the other one that people say all the time, which kind of really irritates me? I'll think of it. It'll come to me. But there's like another one people say all the time, and it's like that. There's an ly on the end of that. I don't know why it irritates me so much. Because I'm an irritable person. I said this before on my original pet peeves video. I said, I guess I'm an irritable person. I'll think of other ones, I'm sure. Other adverbs that should have ly on the end. This has gone on way too long. It's been 11 minutes. I'm gonna get back to work. I have insurance phone calls to make. I really don't wanna make them. So I do billing. I do billing for an oral surgeon. And part of my job is to call insurance companies when a claim has not been paid, like if it's outstanding. And so basically, it's really funny because like I hate doing it, but then actually when I do it, it's really not that bad. There are a few days where it's like very challenging to get a hold of somebody or to get the right answer. But like generally speaking, like 90% of the time, which I don't know if that's accurate, but like a lot more of the time, more often than not, it's really actually not that bad. That's another thing of my pet peeve of mine. When people say like 85% of this is XYZ or 90% of the time they do this. Like, do you really, like really, is that accurate? Is it really, like show your work? I want to see the work that you put into accurately knowing what percentage of your day is, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like 90% of the time it goes this way. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. How do you know that? How could you possibly? Show your work. Oh my gosh. I gotta go. I'll see you later.